As y'all see by the title, man, y'all see what it's about. But let's talk about it though. P. Rain, has said in plenty interviews, it's been hinted that Drake is gonna release a mixtape sometime this year, and I think it's basically done. We're still waiting on his album Views from the Six, but what would be the vibe of Drake album? Not album, excuse me, mixtape. We haven't had a mixtape from him since So Far Gone, and that totally changed how hip hop is viewed. How we look at hip hop. It definitely did a lot for hip hop because he had songs on the radio. He had promote. He didn't really have promotion. He changed it because he didn't have a record deal, and he had #1 records, and he wasn't on the label yet situation. He was working with certain artists, and everybody was running to Drake for a feature at that time. So I'm kind of wondering what would be the sound of a mixtape now. And it's crazy because he haven't done a mixtape in so long. I never thought we would ever get a mixtape from Drake because when he was going to try that R&B mixtape a couple years back, but he said that he wasn't in the right mode to do it. Basically he wasn't going through shit with a female to actually have shit to mope about. So it is what it is. But to put out a mixtape now, I don't really see why he has to. It'd be great to listen to it. I definitely want to check it out. But, would that take away from the album? Because what if, how the last couple years, mixtapes have been way doper than people's albums. You know what I mean? I just love this Mortal Kombat hat. It's definitely dope. But anyway, that's beyond the point. So I'm wondering, if he drop a mixtape and it's dope, and the album come out and it's like, would that change our perception of Drake? You know what I'm saying? Because when he dropped So Far Gone, people was wondering, with all the hype for his debut album, can he deliver? Some say yeah, some say no. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like he gave us an album that the fans wanted and the label wanted. But when he came to Take Care, he definitely did what he did on his own for his album. He gave what he wanted to give. Even with his third LP. So at the same time, it's like, I just feel like if Drake really want to impress us, I don't think he should do a mixtape with original material. I feel he should just take people's beats, even though it's different for him to do. He's done it before. Take other people's beats and destroy them. You know what I'm saying? Turn them into your own songs. Because if you give original music and it's dope as hell, and your album come out, and we feel like, damn, that song should have been saved for the album, or that should have went on a mixtape. So I'm just really thinking about it like, yo, do we really want a mixtape from Drake? We want music from him, of course, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, do we really want a mixtape from him? That song on Lil Wayne's last mixtape, Sorry for the Wait too, and people loving it, the Drake verse, but I just felt it was cool. It wasn't bad. It wasn't his best. It ain't no goddamn verse to where it was like, ooh, shit, replay value. No, it wasn't that, but I don't know. I just don't like artists to just say something and then you had the people waiting and then it never happened. Lupe said he was going to drop a mixtape. We still never got that mixtape. But yeah, we got an album, which I applaud him, and I'd rather have an album than a mixtape. But I think with the mixtape, he would have been more, creative and more like, okay, I could do whatever I want. You know what I mean? So it makes me just think about that whole situation, seeing how you got the Cash Money situation with Wayne. He wants to take his artist with him when he leaves. He's now suing Birdman for $51 million. Y'all see how I went right into that because all this is linked together. But at the end of the day, I don't think Drake really needs the promotion. Look at J. Cole. He just dropped the album out of nowhere, no promotion or nothing. I think Drake is a step above him as far as the commercial side. So I definitely feel like he doesn't need radio singles to push his album. You know what I mean? Look at the songs that he just dropped and people take the beats and just run over them and do what they do to him. So he definitely a trendsetter. But I just hope it has balance on a mixtape and not just filled with girl songs. Because I think at this point it's like, Drake, we don't really need that right about now. We need you to just, especially with all the, great music that's coming out, But it's a lot of pressure on Drake, I feel, to be, deliver a solid project as far as his album goes, because, we still talking about Good Kid, Mad City, and that's been 3 years since that album dropped, In articles I've read, do Drake have a classic album under his belt? Yeah, Take Care was a fucking classic. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? But in the ranks of legend, you know, do he have it in him to drop an album like that to where it's like, yo, he solidified, we praise him, whatever, what have you. You know what I mean? But I am excited to see the mixtape, hear it, check it out, see the cover art, track list, who will he have on it. I do hope he has more of his OVO people on there than other artists. You know, showcase your talent, you know what I mean, that you signed. Show us why you signed them. And it's just not you just signing artists. You know what I'm saying? Get your OVO brand established. He already got the distribution deal. So let's see them artists go out. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole part where it's like, would it make sense for Drake and Nicki and them to stay under the Young Money imprint or the Cash Money imprint instead of going out on their own? So all this news, it comes back to one. It's that umbrella. You know, we seen that situation with Dame.